so just been zip lining around in the mountains and playing kendama.
And
Live streaming.
you're a zip line tour guide.
Yeah.
Okay. Can you take us through
Yeah.
that?
Yeah, dude. So it's pretty chill. Right now it's not as busy, so you usually just do 2 tours for your like shift. But when it's busier, you can do up to 3. But each tour is like probably 3.5 hours, by like gearing them up, like getting everything done. Then there's 8 zip lines. So
Wow.
you gotta like drive up an ATV up the mountain and then go through the whole course. And
Hmm.
yeah, it's a lot of fun, dude. You meet some really cool people. Like I've met people that do like every job, I swear. And then you just talk to them and pretty much be their friend. Like
Yeah.
it's fun.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And you're over
Just goes
there.
zip line.
You're over there in Hawaii.
Yeah. Yep. North Shore, chilling.
Yep. And then how'd you get over there? Because I know it's funny because when I first met you, you're like, well, it was about well, not when I first met you, but the past couple of months,
Yeah.
we met about the border for the first time in many years, and you said, "Oh yeah, I go to Kahuku, like Johnny Crest's school," and I was like, "What?" Like, so how'd
Yeah.
you end up over there?
Yeah. After my junior year, it was kind of when COVID was like breaking out, like right before we were like first getting news of it. And we honestly thought that COVID would be like less of a big deal over here. That was
Mhm.
kind of our thought. And so I was doing a lot of AAU basketball and just playing pretty much basketball all the time. And we like sent some clips from my junior year AAU to the coach at Kahuku, Brandon. And he was basically like, yeah, come play. You'll like start as a point guard. And so I was like, word, I'll come over. And then we had one of the condos I was telling you guys at like just 10 minutes from where I live now on like Turtle Bay, all growing up. And so we knew like about the place. And then my grandpa was the president here at the college at BYU Hawaii. And so
Mhm.
4 of my dad's siblings, they all went to Kahuku and graduated like 30, 40 years ago. And so we have like some family out here still and just like connections. And so it like made sense because I thought it was going to be a better basketball opportunity. But then it turned into like, I love it here. I love to surf, like kendama is sick here. Like I was just loved it here. So my
Mhm.
parents love it too. And they want to stay here now for forever. So
Yeah, yeah.
yeah.
And you are so you moved there a couple of years ago, but yeah, we talked about it during the SKI weekend when you're here for the Seattle Kendama Intensive, and then so you actually filled us in on that you were old Dama homies with Dama Owls and
Yeah.
yeah, Jackson Andrews.
Yeah, the homies.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So
that was
so what years were you playing with them?
feel like we started in like 2013 or 14 was the first time like kendama kind of got introduced into St. George. And that's just when I feel like I told my mom, I was like, yo, someone had this toy or whatever. And then I just got one for my birthday. And then everyone at school had them. Like it was just kind of like a wave. And then
Hmm.
all of a sudden, like 2 weeks later, literally every kid had one on their neck, like playing in class. Like it was
Hmm.
crazy.
How long did that
But
fad last?
that lasted for like 2 years. But for
Really?
that one year, yeah, for that one year, it was like crazy. Like everyone had them. And then the year after, it like kind of half died out. Like
Yeah.
I'd say most of the girls like stopped playing, but there were still like some girls that would sesh, like Allie, and then obviously some other girls too. But there was a Ken club at the toy store just like in our town, and that's how I met Jackson and Allie and some other people too. But it was like the only kendama thing alive. And then I'd say that lasted about like maybe a year and a half. And then there's about like 10 to 15 of us that kind of kept playing, and it
Hmm.
kind of just like phased out.
Hmm. And
Hmm.
so when did you phase out? Because I will get into the first time we met in a second, but yeah, you played for those couple of years and then
Yeah.
you phased out. Then you just made a reappearance at BATB this year with no Instagram and people are wondering who you were. So yeah, when did you
Yeah.
quit and then kind of come back?
So I was probably playing from like 2013, 2014 till I can't remember the exact date or like exact time, but I want to say it was till at least like 2017
Mm.
era. So we played like that year after everyone kind of phased out. It was still like the 15 of us or so, like would still do the jams and like get together and play. And like there was a scene like in Vegas, like the kids Ken and like I don't know, Kevin DeSoto and like I don't know, just those people. Like
Mm.
that's that scene. Freestyle God, I don't know. I can't remember everyone, but like
Yeah.
just some Kanama players. So that's when we started going to those. Like that's when Jackson and Allie kind of started to get. They went to like one event right as I kind of stopped playing, and that's when they kind of got on to Soul.
No.
But I just like I don't know. I only had like 5 or 6 friends that I was still playing with, and I don't know. None of us were like lived. We never really made like huge efforts to play together. We were all like 14, 15,
Yeah.
16, like still super young. So I don't know. We just kind of, at least for me, I stopped playing and just went full basketball mode. Like, I'm gonna play college basketball. This is my dream. Like, I want to do that, you know?
Yeah. Yeah.
And so that's when Kendama just kind of phased out. I still like had a couple. I gave almost all of them away, sadly, to some friend. Um, but I like still kept some of my like favorite ones that I just kind of would pick up probably like once a month, but like not jamming at all, not playing with anyone for like 3 years, 2.5, 3 years.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, when I was just playing full basketball mode.
And then you came back a little before BATB or what? What was that?
Yeah, yeah. So moved out to Hawaii in like 2019, like middle of 2019, or yeah, right around there. Actually, like towards the end of 2019. And I can't remember. I brought some condoms with me because I like my junior year of high school, I kind of like would pick it up a little bit, not like more than I was in the last 2.5 years.
Mm.
And then when I moved, I was like, okay, well, I might like want these, you know, I just like was packing them. I only brought 2 suitcases with me, but I was just like, hey, I'll probably want these. I don't know. Like they were still like my favorite ones or whatever that I
Yeah.
had kept. And so I just brought them and then I don't know. I think I bought one off Amazon when I was in Hawaii, like when I first kind of got there, because mine were all like old, and I saw that like the base cup had a hole in it, like probably like 4 years ago, and I was like, whoa, that's
Yeah.
probably like that's probably like good for other tricks or something. And I ended up getting that, and then it was like honed. It was like this one Crom, but I don't know, Crom's not good now. But like when
Oh
they
my.
were first like evolving, I was like, whoa, this
Yeah.
is actually like there's new things about Kendama. So I ordered it. It was like $20 off Amazon, and then I just seshed that, and like getting a new Kendama literally was like this spark again. And I was like, whoa, I love Kendama. And so I would like play. I started playing more again, and that was probably like 2020
Mm-hmm.
and like middle of 2020, but I was never like grinding. I don't know. Like I didn't play with anyone still. I didn't like sesh tricks that I was like trying to work on. Like it was literally just like pick it up and maybe try like a border balance or like some lunars or like just mess with it, you know?
Yeah. Yeah. And
And then
so this is really interesting because you say that, yeah, you come like I don't know when the like a switch flip for you or anything, but obviously you came to Battle of the Border like everybody. It's like you came out of nowhere, and so I'm really happy we're talking about this right now because people probably are like people are literally like, including me, were like, dude, who is this kid? You know.
yeah,
And to my surprise, I was like, wait, I've met this kid before. Real quick
yeah.
for everybody watching, like me, Nick, and Daniel, we actually met for the first time at National Kendama Retreat in 2015 in California. That was an event Dave
Mhm.
Mateo put on. We'll help a couple people from the community over there. And Danny was this kid who was like this really good Kanama player, this Kanama guy, like kid out of Utah. And I thought he just like disappeared off the face of the earth. And you know, to be fair, you kind of did off social media.
Yeah, no,
We
yeah.
literally so when over the past weekend, we were all here in Seattle and we're searching for like a long time to find any proof of Danny's existence, like
We hit
from
up
like
Ali, dude,
2015.
yeah.
And and so yeah, I'm happy we're talking about this, but obviously it's after 2020. I mean, a switch like flipped, or maybe it didn't. Maybe you're just as like you were realizing you weren't realizing you were just leveling up so much. But you know, about the border, I
Mhm.
mean, it was like instantaneous that people were like, "Wait, who is this guy? How is he so good?" and especially now, especially after Battle of the Border, you
Mhm.
finally made an Instagram. You know,
Yeah.
you didn't have an Instagram account for yourself. I'd love to get into that. Like, first off, like when did that switch flip for you, if it ever did in your mind? And two, like
Yeah.
how are you finding inspirations for tricks? Because
Hmm.
obviously people know your play style is very freestyle. It's honestly one of a kind. And so, but if you didn't have
Yeah.
an Instagram, like how are you seeing stuff? Were you seeing stuff? Any of that?
Yeah. So I still had like, so in like 20, probably 17, kind of when I stopped playing kendama and went full basketball, I like, I don't know, I had people around me that were kind of like, nah, kendama's not like cool, you know, like it was
Mhm.
never my family. Like my parents were always like, do what you love and do what you want. But I don't know, just like basketball friends were like, yeah, like just full basketball, you know, like it's a toy or whatever. And so
Yeah.
I guess I kind of just got like insecure, to be real. Like when I
Mhm.
was a kid, I was like 15, 16, and I like knew people watched because I had a Konami account until I was like 15 or 16, and it wasn't like big, but I had like 500 or 600 followers. And like if you guys remember like Avid Kendamas or like
Yeah,
some
Avid.
OG or Avid, yeah, like so long. But like they would repost me, but like only a few times because I was just like super new.
Yeah.
Um, but I don't know. I ended up deleting it and kind of just being off Kendama social media for years. Like I only followed on my main Instagram, I think like Dylan and like Crom and like Grain Theory. Like only like the few, no like
Yeah.
new gen like like people post. I don't know, not that Dylan's insane, but he I don't know, I just didn't really know there was such a scene, I would say.
Mhm.
Um, and then I back in like 2022 when I had like got that Crom in 2020, I had gotten a couple other Kanamas like Grain Theories, and then I did summer sales in 2022 that summer, and I brought a Kanama out with me, and it was really cool. Like I like if you've ever done sales or know about sales, like it's really hard, and you like are basically working 65, 70-hour weeks, and like you're just with a bunch of boys like out working in some random place. So
Mhm.
at nights, like we would kind of all just hang out together, like to talk about the day and like kind of just get some downtime where you're not like getting rejected by people
Yeah.
constantly, you know? And so I would always be like playing Konami, not always, but like lots of times I would have my Konami at least with me. And it was like really cool to like show them it and like I guess be like I was obviously like the best one there because I was the one who brought
Yeah.
him and like had played before. And so it was cool to like show off, I guess, or like kind of just show them
Yeah. Yeah.
tricks and
Yeah.
they would be like, whoa, like you're juggling or like doing a borders balance, like holy cow, like that's insane. And
Yeah.
so I guess that was like kind of another thing too is like I realized I knew I was good when I like first played because at the Ken clubs like I would win games of Ken or like we would all like jam together at a park and it'd be like we would all film like good tricks, but I don't know, not that mine were like better, but I knew I was like good at kendama, you know. And then after that sales kind of experience, I like kept playing more, I would say. Like my roommate, the one that I lived with in northern Utah, and a couple other roommates there, they like kind of liked it too. Like they bought one of them bought like a 6 shipment of kendamas like from Crom or something, but
Mhm.
it was just like cool to see them kind of get into kendama too.
Yeah.
And that's when I started like playing them more and more, and like I was like, hey, I should probably start filming tricks again. And that was probably like the start of 2023. So like winter 2022, they like started picking them up. And then that's I want to say like the next summer of 2023 is when I got like TikTok and I saw that people like still played kendama on TikTok, and then I like kind of saw Miguel play, and then had seen like him start to grow on like kendama TikTok, and I was like, whoa, like this is sick. This is something I could do, you know?
Yeah.
And so I started like posting when I was working in that summer of 2023 in Arizona. I was doing like car detailing and just kind of hustling with a couple friends I did sales with.
Mhm.
And that's when I was like, well, I'm just out here in like random part of Arizona. Like I might as well post kendama, like hopefully something, you know, sparks from it or like just anything, like looking for something to do almost. And I just started posting on TikTok, and then some homie, I think his name was like Brad. He commented and he's like, dude, your play style reminds me so much of Miguel's. Like, you guys would go crazy in freestyle or something like that. And I like looked at Miguel and watched his videos, and I was like, whoa, like this guy's actually like sick, and he's really good. Like there's a lot of people that still play kendama, I'm sure, because like I would look at people like commenting on his or whatever. And I just kept posting on TikTok, and then I think like 2 months before battle, so probably like end of November or something like that. I had just been posting, and Miguel messaged me on TikTok, and he's like, dude, like Battle at the Border's coming up. Like, are you gonna go or whatever? And I was like, I don't know. I kind of thought about it, and I was at a family reunion. We were in New Zealand at the time, and I just like blurted it out. I was like, dude, there's like the biggest Konami tournament in America
Yeah.
and in Tennessee, and my friend just said something about it, like, should I go? And my family's like, hell yeah, go, like, go do it. And I was like, okay. And then my brother-in-law's like, okay, we're gonna book your flight like right now. And I was like, okay, perfect.
What?
So, yeah, so like that night, we like looked at all the flights and stuff, and then we actually had friends that were living like 25, 30 minutes from where the event was being hosted in Tennessee. And so my dad was like, oh, this will be perfect. So we just waited for them to get back to us like after that night. And they were like, yeah, come stay for a few days. And then we just booked the tickets. And then I ended up staying at like the Depot house the whole night, or like pretty much all the nights. But yeah, that was really it. I just got out to battle, and then, reconnected with Zack, and just met so many cool people. Like, literally got so hyped on kendama. Like after the first day of battle, I was like starstruck, just like, whoa, like this feels like the like brand new again, and like the first time when I had first been introduced to kendama, like it was that fun again. And so I was like, dude, I gotta keep
Yeah.
going with this. I
Yeah.
have to.
Yeah. And so after BATB, people are like, okay, who is this guy? They're probably like meeting you at the depot house or at the venue and be like, oh, what's up, man? How are you? Oh, whoa. No, whoa, he's actually crazy. I
Yeah.
actually don't even know how, like, I don't even know who you are. Like, why don't I know who you are? And then
Yeah.
so you obviously got on Instagram after that, but what
Yeah.
led you to do that? I mean, were literally not on Instagram for the Kendama world
Yeah.
until then, and then BATB changed you. I know you
Yeah.
got you got a sponsor going, but yeah, tell us a little bit about that.
Yeah, so at battle, dude, I literally was like, I flew out alone, but my dad came with me just to like connect with the friends and stuff. But like he just would drop me off at the event and like kind of go golf and stuff because he's way into that. But I don't know, I was just like a social butterfly at the event, like literally saying hi to anyone that I would see. Like I would go say hi to someone, and then like meet them, sesh for like 5 minutes, and then just go, like talking to everyone. Um, and I don't know. I was like, do you guys have TikTok? Or people would ask me like, what's your Instagram? And I'd be like, oh, I don't even have one. Like, and they were like, what? Like, and they're like, why don't you have one? And I was like, well, I don't know. Like, I didn't really realize how big of a like scene it was on. I didn't know
Yeah.
Instagram was like the place for kendama. Um, but I don't know. After the event, like, and just session at the depot, I was like, yeah, I gotta make an Instagram, because every person I talked to, they were like, "Yeah, we have Instagram," and I was like, "Oh, okay, I
Yeah.
gotta get on Instagram then."
Yeah. And then birth Ken Dan 10.
Yeah, I had Ken Dan, in like 2013, just Ken underscore Dan, but it got swooped. I think we were talking about like someone who probably doesn't play Ken. It's tough.
Swooped. Oh
Yeah,
no.
I deactivated it, and then they took it.
Oh. So
So
so you got the Instagram and then you got a sponsor. I don't know
yeah,
how long it took you to get that after BATV, but probably not that long. So how did that happen?
well. So like everyone was just seshing at the depot houses, and bro, I don't know. Like I was literally playing till like 4 or 5, like every night of battle.
What?
Like like I would be in the garages until like 4 with just like Miguel or like Jake or just a bunch of homies, like just seshing the open tricks. And um I don't know. I was staying with I ended up crashing with like Lost Soul Yoda. If you guys, you might know him. he's got like missing teeth, but he is the homie. Like I love this man.
I don't know.
But
I don't
I
know.
was, I was okay, yeah, it's okay. But I was staying with I just ended up crashing with someone because I was like just asking around. I was like, Dad, like they're all playing kendama late here, like hanging out. I'd rather do that, to like prepare for the tournament. Because I don't want to be like clacking my kendama at my dad's friend's house, like at
Yeah.
12 at night. Like I'm trying to prepare. And I guess I just was session hard and like filming doubles tricks with people, and I was in the right place, dude. Like I was just around Jack and a lot of good players. Like I sessioned with Finn for a minute, and most of the depot guys like Michael and just like a bunch of homies late, and it was just like good vibes, dude. Like all of us were having a great time, just session tricks, playing kendama, like having a good time. Really, all it was. And then I think it was after the first day, even before we like. Actually, no, I think it was after the competition day. Yeah, because I lost in the first round of battle to Steven. He's cracked.
Yeah, Bach, yeah,
Um,
he's insane.
yeah, he hit all three tricks first try, so I was a little nervous.
Yeah.
But it was tough. GG, Steven. But then I won a few matches in a row, and um I beat one of the Sweets pros, and I think one of the homies that was on Occult. And so I think that was something too that they were like, oh, well, he can obviously, compete. And then just seshing with them and like having good vibes, like it just went super well, dude. And we went to the gas station to like grab snacks at like 2 a.m. And Jack was like, dude, honestly, you're like a diamond in the rough, dude. Like we're looking for new players and we want someone to like represent us, and you're the perfect fit. And I kind of just leveled with him. I was like, yeah, dude, like I'm so grateful for that. Like I've been obviously looking for that, and that's like, every Kanama player wants to be sponsored, right? Like it just helps you grow, helps you learn, be
Yeah.
around better players, get fresh setups, like everything about it's a dub. And so I was super hyped, but I also, I'm just coming back into the scene. Like I know that I'm pretty good at kendama, like in the most humble way. Like I've put a lot of time in, and so I don't want to just be tied down. Like I don't want to
Yeah. Yeah.
be just stuck with the first person that gives me a great opportunity. And I don't know if stuck's the right word. Like it's more of like a a step to help me get to next levels of
For
things.
sure. Yeah.
But
Yeah.
um, yeah, dude, I'm just super grateful that like he was able to kind of level with me and be like, yeah, dude, if good opportunities, come around, like I want you to do what's best for you. And as soon as like that came out of his mouth, I was like, yeah, like I'll do it. Like I'd love to play with for you, or represent you, because that's like the biggest thing right there for me, is just
Mhm.
like being free and still being able to like try new setups and just kind of be me. I don't want to just play your company, like
Yeah.
as good as it might be. It's like there's so many options now and just so many cool people. Like I want to be on a team that has the best players around me.
Right. 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 Feel that. Yeah. I feel that.
Yeah.
Yeah. I feel
Yeah.
that. And yeah, so it sounds like, yeah, a cult, like you guys just, the team saw something in
Hmm.
you, you were spending some time with them and they just
Yeah.
picked you up. I mean, obviously they didn't have anything to go off of before because how would they have seen
Yeah.
you before? You didn't have Instagram.
Yeah.
They
Like
probably
I
weren't on
literally
TikTok.
I had met them for like a day or
Yeah.
something.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And they made the move. But yeah, it sounds like, you and the owner are clear on kind of like what the sponsorship
Yeah.
means. It sounds like you're, open for more opportunities. You're open.
Yeah.
You're just getting back into the scene, right? Like you come to your first event back, and you get a
Yeah.
sponsorship offer. There's an
Yeah.
entire world out there. Most people get their sponsorship
No,
offers
yeah.
like years and years and years and years after they start playing. I guess
Yeah.
technically it's the same for you in this scenario, but like you just came back after not being in the scene for so long, and you just did it,
Yeah. And not like
So
competing or being in any kendama scene for like 6 years or so. I think maybe 5, I think was like the last event I had been to. And so that was just like, a lot. it's like a lot of emotion and also just a lot of things to like think about, because you're
Right.
getting all this feedback from good players. Like I was reconnecting with you and, I was session with Alex, Mitchell, Miguel, like some of the best players in the world. And so it's like getting good feedback from players who you like look up to. It really kind of not like makes you have an ego, but it just kind of shows you that like you have worth and you can do like a lot of things if you like have the
Yeah.
right intentions.
Yeah.
Kind of
So
affirms what you've been putting in, right? The work you've been putting in, because obviously it's
yeah,
not happening for everybody just because they wanted to. You got to play out for hours.
yeah,
You got to put the hours
yeah.
in.
You have to grind to
Yeah,
get anywhere in anything.
yeah.
It's just the law. It's part of it.
Yeah, Danny, I'm still curious though. So you have this style that just embodies the meaning of freestyle. And you
Yeah.
definitely inspired Zach and I over the weekend when you came over to
Dude,
Seattle and just showed
let's
us in
go.
person. It kind of inspired not only us, but every single person who was at the event to
Yeah.
kind of incorporate more of what you do into their own game. And I've been doing Instagram lives recently where I'm just going off and trying to do flow
Spamming.
state, and it's like really, really fun. I'm getting the hang of it. It's really
Yeah.
cool to kind of allow myself to do that and be like, okay, you can do that. Why not?
Mm-hmm.
So you embody this definition of freestyle. And so what, not having Instagram, I'm not sure if
Mm-hmm.
you were watching the tricks. I know you saw Miguel, but what,
Yeah.
were you just doing these tricks all this time, just repetitively? Because you clearly weren't super well versed in the kendama world. Honestly, even
Yeah.
right now, you're still making a comeback with that, trying to be more knowledgeable about everything. But
Yeah.
you have this play style that is so unique. So were you just doing that the entire time, or what was that? When did
So
that start?
so when I first played, like the first 3 years, I got like a good basis. Like, cause you guys know, like back in 2014, 15, like the tricks were not like today's tricks. Like we were doing like Trip Whirly was like, like a sick trick back then.
Yeah.
It was like, damn, like Trip Whirly, like wow. So I don't know. It's just like I got really good at, just like the basics of kendama, I would say. Like I got good with like decent string tricks like hand roll, finger roll. Like I could do spacewalks and just kind of like feeling kendama, like
Hmm.
knowing how things move and work. Like that was pretty much my first few years. So I feel like I got a really solid foundation for kendama. Like I learned how to do multiple juggles before I'd stopped playing. I think I did like 20 juggles or something before I had quit
Nice.
for the first time. And so I wasn't like bad. I was actually like still one of the best players. Like we met at NKR and you guys were like, holy, that was you. Like you were just this random like ripper from Utah,
Tiny kid who did Ken flips.
You were so tiny.
Yeah. Yeah, I was miniature. Um, but I had a good foundation and I also had like a good group like Ali and Jackson and there's another guy named Aiden. He was the one who would run like the Ken Club, but they helped me get
Yeah.
like a lot better at first. But when I came back and bought that kendama like off of Amazon, um, I don't know, when I just got that, like I had this like refresh of like, oh, that you can do so much with a kendama. So like I kind of retaught myself like, multiple lunar flips or like lighthouse flips, like just kind of the more advanced tricks with kendama and got into like border balance and stuff. And I feel like when I was just sessioning, like after coming back, everything progressed like 3 to 4 times faster because
Mm.
I had already known like the basics with kendama, so it was easy to break down tricks and like put things together,
Mhm.
or versus someone who had like never played.
Yeah.
And so I feel like that alone helped me a lot, just get better fast in those like 2 years, even though I wasn't playing with anyone or like watching any Instagram clips. Like I genuinely feel like I was just playing with it, and that alone got my
Yeah.
like just awareness with kendama, like tama control, ken flips, like just your feel stuff with kendama, like got super locked in even before I was like good at kendama, I would say.
Yeah.
you
So
know
so you weren't seeing any Konami content on social media. Like not
yeah,
much.
until like 2022, 20 or
Yeah.
almost 2023. Yeah,
Yeah. So you do I'm sure like in the
after
time
like
you weren't
2017 though.
watching people, you were honestly, this style may have been curated because of the fact that you weren't seeing clips online as much as other people, because it
Yeah.
makes you want to do the things other people are doing.
Mhm.
People, often compare themselves to others, and want to and get inspired by other people, and it's only natural that you want to do the tricks
Yeah.
that seem coolest to you. But you were, it sounds like to me that you were honing in on, you said you had a good foundation, and you kind of just like worked with that up until a point where you were just stringing lines upon lines upon lines together
Yeah.
over and over. And while it might have been like the same genre of tricks, you got so good at them that it just be kind of
Mhm.
keep this flow state. And so you come back with this
Yeah.
new style that nobody's doing, and
Yeah.
it's rubbing off on a lot of people, man.
Dude, and the fact that it's had an impact on you guys alone is like so awesome for me. But I don't know. I genuinely just feel like when I stopped playing kendama in like 2017, I kind of just fell out of love with it. Like I didn't have
Mm.
fun anymore when I played.
Yeah.
And I would like go into filming tricks being like, I have to land this, or like if I don't land this, like then I won't upload a trick today, and like people won't think I'm like good, or
Yeah.
I don't like, just like not the right mindset you want to have with a
Mhm.
toy or like something that you love to do. And so I think a big reason for me why like I stopped like getting motivation to like reach out to Jackson and Ali and like friends that played Kanama, because I was like, oh, like it doesn't even sound very fun, because I would put so much like pressure on myself to be like one of the best, because I
Mm.
thought I was like, I was right around when I had beaten Dylan in that tournament, like when I was like 14 in Vegas. And that was like probably when I was the best before I had quit. And so like when I had got to that, like not plateau, but like that level, I was putting so much pressure on myself to like be good, because that's kind of when Jackson and Ali like started getting looked at by Soul, and like
Yeah.
I don't know, it's like kind of the players that were getting better like started to get better. And I think that kind of just weighed on me. And then also I really love basketball, and so I don't know, like it was easy for me to give it up, but then when I picked it back up, like I just played because I liked it. Like I bought one online without like watching any videos, so it was just like fun. I don't know. I would just pick it up and I like just did tricks that sounded fun, like lunar
Yeah.
flip, or just juggling it to a lunar, or like I don't, just like the play style that I kind of created. It was just formed off of like me wanting to have fun with kendama.
Hmm.
And so that's why I think it's having an impact on people.
Hmm.
So as soon as you let go of that expectation of, those, that really huge expectation of yourself of, I need to land
Mhm.
this to fulfill, extrinsic motivation, of other people's like
Yeah.
perspective, like, and started to go more free flow.
Hmm.
That's what you found more fun. So
And
it sounds
that's
like
and
you like
that's
were, you were probably filming tricks that were more like rigid in structure, right?
like bangers, yeah, like bangers on Instagram, like
Yeah.
Yeah.
triple border balance flip, or like I don't know, just quad stilt flip, but like a 14-year-old, that's like hard.
Yeah.
You
For
know?
most people,
So
it's hard.
yeah.
Yeah.
But that's how I actually got back into posting again too, is because I was like, hey, well, I'll just post like freestyle. Like on my TikTok, I literally post like pop videos that Miguel would do, and just they'd be like a 20-second, 30-second freestyle, just me Ken flipping and juggling. And I was like, that's what I like to do, so I'll post that, you
Yeah.
know?
Yeah.
Yeah. And then it's turned into, oh, I want to be involved in Kanama, and like I love it. And so I want to post tricks that other people think are cool too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
You're mixing a little bit of both. Like I mean, after this past weekend, you inspired Nick and I to do more free flowing lines. I mean, for people who, for people who are kind of like listening right now, for me personally, like I found out because when I looked at Danny first, I was like, man, like I don't even know if I could play like that if I tried, but like I never tried. And so
Mhm.
in my mind, I realized in my mind I had these limiting factors in my head, like these limiting, not beliefs, but like these rules, I guess you'd say. These rules in my
Mhm.
head, like rules in my head that like every trick I have to do, whether I'm thinking about it or not, kind of has to make sense in some way. So if I'm doing triples and stuff, I have to keep doing triples, or I couldn't, if I'm doing a flow line, like
Yeah, like a
I have to
perfect
insta
sandwich or
everything. Like
something.
I literally have to insta everything. And obviously, like, for you, you're insting a lot, but you're not insting everything. You're ghosting. You're taking your time. And for me, I was like, oh,
Yeah.
to do all these things. But once I saw you play, I was like, okay, well, actually, I can like kind of play around with this more and kind of like,
Yeah.
stop doing the stuff that I, naturally have done for so long to make it more fun. And it has been fun. I remember we were sessioning the last day before you went to catch your flight. Like we were really tapping in. Like we were all, I feel like both of our styles were evolving because like for me and Nick,
Oh yeah.
the flow, and then for you, like you were throwing the
Seeing you guys
stalls
put
into the
like
flow,
the
which is sick.
Insta stilts together and like just the flowing stalls, that was like a opening moment for me. I was like, wow, like seeing you guys play that way, I was like, dude, they could do this anytime they wanted. They're just like, they're so disciplined to like thinking they can only hit these like crazy bangers that they're just eliminating a whole nother way of playing. And it was so cool to see you guys just start like spamming more. Like you can literally hit any trick whenever you want. It's not fair. I started something bad.
Dude, I've been on like people on my live. I literally was just finished a live like 10 minutes before we started this, and people are like, whoa, like I've never. This is like the craziest thing ever, and I'm just thinking, yeah, it's just, yeah, I mean, it's just Kendan freestyle, and no, and I tell, I mean, it's not like they don't know that. Oh yeah, the Danny freestyle. And I'm like, yep, yep, and it's just like kind of like a fresh new thing, a new play style to see from me, I think, and I think people are enjoying it, and I also just like testing it in front of people. Like
Yeah.
on lives, for example, when I'm not actually at an event or with you guys, or yeah, it's just kind of fun to see what I can do. And I want to play more like this in an actual freestyle competition. I want to see how it translates. And yeah, it's
Yeah.
gonna be really fun. I love
Bro,
practicing
I'm just
this
picturing it
because
like
yeah,
if you just did like literally either of you guys any of your tricks like in a freestyle, like dude, think about the juggles to stall, like just the flow that you're gonna have is crazy. Like
yeah.
how would you not win if you went off? Like I
Uh,
can't think of someone, even like anyone. Like if you play just not even insta, like spamming tricks and then you just random stall and then back to random tricks and
Again.
then stall.
Yeah,
Like
yeah, yeah.
it's just that's like the highest level of play right now, I feel like.
Dude, changing the tempo, I think, is
yeah.
really, really
Yeah.
insane. I was talking about that on my live. It's just like you go, 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 and then you pause, and you just stop it on a stall, and then everyone goes
Yeah.
crazy, and then
Yeah.
you ramp it up again, and then you bring it back down to slow, stall it again. It's just like everyone will go nuts. I know it's
It's
changing
like
the
a roller
tempo is so
coaster,
important.
bro. It really is. Like
Yeah.
you wait for it and then it's like, oh my gosh, there's the stall. Oh.
Dude,
It's
and also I
crazy.
feel like changing the tempo, like flowing, then stopping, like when you like goes to house, like in the middle of your line, it's
Yeah.
like
Mhm.
okay, pause, but it also gives like people watching a chance to actually just process what the hell just
What
happened.
they saw,
You
yeah,
know?
Yeah, yeah.
exactly. Yeah, because sometimes when it's like just instas, it's like that's sick, but it's hard to kind of see what you're actually doing so fast, except for the
Yeah.
people that can actually do instas themselves, they are like, what is going on?
Right.
Yeah. I think it also leaves like when you pause in between, no matter if you just like pause on your lighthouses or lunar, like what you always do, and it doesn't even have to be a stall, just pausing in general. It kind of makes people catch up in their minds and be like, oh wow, that was actually hard. I just have to like, it's now registering as whoa, that was difficult, and it makes it leave more of an
Mhm.
impression. So
Yeah,
it's definitely good for the stage as well. Yeah, Danny, have
yeah,
you
I
done
feel like,
freestyle?
oh, I have never done a freestyle, bro. I want to though. I would love to,
I
bro.
have a feeling
Hopefully
you'll be
this year.
invited. You'll definitely be invited to one for sure. Like it's
Hopefully we
really
get
a matter
invited
of time.
because yeah, I'll be at NACO, hopefully CKC, Salt Lake City, and then KWC is what I'm like hoping I can make to this year.
Yeah. Well, KDBC is more of like it's less of a hope. It's more of like
Oh no, yeah. The other three were the one. Well, I'm gonna go to NACO for sure and KWC. Those are the two that are
woo!
those are happening. 100%.
Go. So yeah, so the next event you're going to, I mean, we all kind of just decided, like half of us at Seattle Economic Intensive just decided, hey, you guys want to go to KWC? And then yeah, like I said it jokingly to you, like I was like, hey, KWC this year, right? And you're like, yep. Should we look at flights? And I was like, what?
Yes. Should we look at flights with the quote? What's the best
Should
line?
we look at flights right now? And I was like, yeah, what? I
Yeah,
guess.
we're like, okay.
And then guy said, yeah, I'll just stay in Japan until then. And then Chaga was like, yep, I'm going too.
Yeah, he's
And
like, all right, I'll be there.
And Leo's like, well, I don't really have an excuse because I'm in Taiwan. It's like, okay.
Yeah. Dude, I know. I need to figure it out because apparently like half of my family's gonna come out too now.
Oh, yeah.
And Jack from Occult's gonna be out there. I don't know who
Really?
else. Yeah, I don't know who else from the Occult squad's going, but I want to figure out the best way to do it. Like I definitely would love to be around you guys, but I know you have like a lot going on. But we just have to, I mean, I just need to plan out like kind of what I'm gonna be doing so I can let my family know, because if they're gonna come, then like I don't know, they can do their own thing, but like I do still want to be with them sometimes, you know. So I'm just trying
For
to figure
sure.
out like my agenda, I guess.
For sure. And like honestly, like you're not gonna be in Japan for a long time, and like obviously you have a squad of people to go with. So
Yeah.
we can help figure stuff out. I mean, we'll definitely. I'm sure Nick and I will be able to stay with that squad for at least a little bit, and then we'll
Yeah.
help you out with the planning and stuff too. So
Yeah. No, so stoked, dude. It's gonna be amazing. Like I don't know. It's not something I'm worried about at all. Like I know it's just a matter of going, and like it's gonna be insane.
it's gonna be amazing either way, dude. Dude,
Yeah.
about your family too. I actually want to touch on this. Well, first of all, let's can we talk about the story of what you texted your dad, like when you're talking about when this realization of KWC being a thing like is happening. What was it like? Tell us about tell the viewers like what the
Yeah.
text you said.
Yeah. Dude, I literally was like, Dad, we should go to the World Cup in Japan. And wait, I'll literally just pull up my phone.
I was gonna
I'm
say,
gonna
you
go.
just read it.
I'm
You
gonna
just read
butcher
it.
this way too bad.
You just read it
Can
up.
you
Yeah.
guys still hear me?
Yeah.
Okay, okay. Let's see. My dad texts me a lot. This is actually tough.
Yeah.
I need to look for my long text.
Yeah.
Okay, wait. When were we just in Seattle? Like, what were the dates?
It's like
You probably texted him on
April 13th.
April 13th or 14th.
Oh, okay, yeah. I said, bro, we gotta go to the Kendama World Cup, 27th through 28th of July. Is the competition dates. It's in Osaka, Japan. It would be insane to make that happen. I'm trying to make enough connections where I could go out alone, but I'd love for you to come out with me and experience it. And he just replied in all caps, hell yes. That's literally all he said, hell yeah.
Dude,
That's so
dude,
funny.
I wanted to talk about that
Yeah,
after that because that's that happened, and obviously when you said you're in New Zealand, you tell your family like, "Hey, can I go? This is the biggest competition in the nation coming. Like, can I
Yeah.
go?"
And it was like the next month too. Like it was like literally within a month or
like a
something.
last minute trip, and they're like, "Yeah,
Yeah.
hell yeah!" Like they're like the same response, you know? It's
Yeah.
dude, I feel like that's really really special because to have
Yeah.
your family be so down for this type of
Mhm.
stuff to support you so much. Is that like? Can you talk a little bit about that? Has your family always been like that? They were like so
Yeah.
with you all the
So
way? Yeah.
when I was younger, I mean, obviously, like they were a little bit more strict. Like if I wanted to make these rash decisions, it was like, okay, well, you gotta save up, or you gotta, you know, do something. Like there was just it wasn't as easy to kind of make these up and go decisions. But I don't know, kind of after I've done sales and like been on my own for like a year and a half or so, and like kind of grown up a little bit, kind of matured. um they're just super like supportive, and not that they weren't before, but like I have such a good relationship with especially my parents. It's like just so much trust, and just like such a good like relationship between us, that like if there's something that I'm passionate about, like they're super down to try and make it happen, like as long as I really want to do it.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So
I
I
think
feel like
that's
just
definitely yeah. Sorry, I don't mean to cut you off, but
oh, you're good.
I don't think many people's parents would just all respond in all caps, hell yeah, and just go with that
Yeah.
that quickly. So I think that's very special. I think that it kind of just shows how close you guys are and what a good relationship you have as a family. So yeah, it's really
Yeah.
commendable.
Yeah, I mean, my dad's a little bit of a psycho. Like he is not like most people at all. Like he literally he has played 1,000 golf courses. Like he is a freak, bro. Like, played golf in every continent except for Antarctica, like every state.
What?
Yeah, yeah, he goes hard. He's been to the Masters. This place. Let me flip the camera.
I
Like
see that. Yeah,
this.
I was gonna say I see a
Yeah.
lot of masters.
Yeah. So he's been there like over 25 times, but
What?
he's basically just he's a crack to golf. Like he loves it.
What?
Like he's a
Yeah.
super fan, and he's also like insanely good.
Yeah, like both my brothers played college golf. Like
Wow.
he played college basketball. So I'm low key the favorite child. because like he would travel with me to go play like basketball tournaments, and like he took me to the Duke basketball camp, just like I don't know, super down to help me with things that I'm passionate about, but also he loved basketball too, so it was like easy,
Yeah.
you know. Yeah,
Dang. That's
it's
insane. And
super blessed, dude.
now he's just back. Now he's backing you with kendama. Let's go.
Yeah, no, literally anything. Like I could tell him Pokemon collecting, and he'd be like, "All right, let's go."
Yeah. That's
Where's
That's
the
awesome.
Charizard? Where's the Charizard at?
He responds with a screenshot of him freshly downloaded Pokemon Go. He's like, "Where are
Yeah,
we going?"
yeah, he's like at the Pokestop, like, like bro, he would. He's hilarious.
That's awesome, man.
No,
Have
you
you?
guys will love him. He's really funny.
Hell yeah,
Yeah.
I'm excited to meet him. I'm excited to meet him. Has he ever been to Japan before?
Yeah, but only for like a few days because my brother lived in Korea for 2 years.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so they went and like visited some of the spots he had gone to out there, but I don't know how long they were in Japan for.
Yeah.
Yeah, and we with all these these new opportunities coming up, like you have a lot of your eyes set on a lot of
Yeah,
stuff, dude. You know, a lot of goals in kendama and
yeah,
a lot of events this year. You know, what are some of the biggest goals you want to achieve this year within kendama? Like what do you
yeah,
have your eyes set on it in in a more like measurable sense, I guess.
yeah, dude. I mean, like, I feel like I'd be lying to myself if I said I didn't want to win. Like, I
Yeah.
would love to podium at some of these events I'm going to. Um, and definitely that's going to take a lot of effort, you know, like all the people that are podiuming like this year and at these recent events are all like putting in countless hours
Mhm.
and they deserve it. And so, yeah, I'm just trying to get to that point where I feel like I'm deserving of like winning or being in top 3 at a pro open event because I don't know, I feel like once you get to that level, you're kind of just in a belief of yourself, like one with nerves, two with like, I'm capable of being one of the best players here. And I feel like it's just not like a mental block that I have right now, but I definitely felt like a lot of nerves when I was at battle. And I'm not saying I want those to just like completely go away, but I just want to get really confident and comfortable on stage and just believing in myself that I'm, worthy of being there and like filling that role. So
Yeah.
I'd say that's a really big goal for me. Just because I'm really competitive. Yeah,
Mhm.
I love to win. So
Yeah. Yeah.
I think that's cool. Yeah.
Absolutely. So do we. Yeah. I mean,
Yeah.
we've always been
No,
competitive
it
ourselves. So
shows. Yeah, it shows.
yeah. So that's your main goal. You want to win a competition this year.
That'd
Uh,
be sick.
It'd be really cool to see you in KWC finals.
Yeah, dude. Yeah, we need to talk more on like how to kind of do that, and like
Oh,
you
we'll
guys should
plan.
We'll
help
plan you.
craft
We'll help
maybe.
plan.
Yeah. Oh
We'll help
yeah,
you.
we're gonna scheme.
Absolutely, man. So you want to do that? Anything else? I know you're trying to get out into the scene again.
Yeah.
You've already said your comps you're going to CKC, KWC, NAKO. Hopefully
Yeah.
another one of Zack and I's events in the US.
Yeah. No, I will be at one of those too.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
No doubt.
Then you want to win, and then kind of just it sounds like you just kind of want to win.
Yeah, I mean, other goals too is just connect like
Yeah.
with people, like just get closer to know you guys. I'm really excited to get closer to Micah, Miguel.
Mm-hmm.
Miguel just actually messaged me today about like it was like one of the coolest texts I've ever seen, bro. He was literally like a voice message and he was like, dude, I'm feeling like super inspired or like motivated to, film, and I thought there's like no better time than the present to like reach out to you and say that you're someone who I'd like love to film with and travel with. And so it looks like we're gonna be mixing up a little edit here soon or like try and fly to do something together.
Whoa.
But
Okay.
yeah,
Epic.
yeah.
Okay.
So hopefully some big things with Miguel soon. But dude, yeah, just connecting, dude. There's really so many people like that I feel like are genuine and like just great people in the Kanama community. So just tap into that more and just lock in some great friendships, man. Like literally one weekend already made me feel like we're such good friends. And so it's like
Yeah.
imagine what, 10, 20 events can do for you.
Yeah. 100%, man. I like the connection we were able to build too. And I was freaking
Yeah.
out at the table the first night, just when it all came back to me about who you actually were. Because
Yeah.
I didn't even know. I thought you were just this random kid who came back. but I didn't realize I had actually met you at NKR 2015, all those years ago, the 2016 actually. Yeah,
Yeah,
I
one of
didn't
them.
realize
One.
all those years ago you were there and that you existed, and I forgot about your existence because you disappeared. And then you're like,
Yeah,
"Yeah,
I
we
know.
met
I
at
should have done that.
NKR," and it was happening in real time. Me just realizing, just remembering your face and being like, just
Yeah.
freaking out. So yeah, from there until now, I mean, it's only been a little bit, but yeah, I feel like we've established a great connection, and now we're going to Japan
Same.
together. So
Yeah, it's locked. We're locked.
we're locked. We're
We're actually
locked.
locked.
We're unlocked.
We're all locked.
Yeah, we're all unlocked.
I mean, Miguel messaged you today. He kind of just confirmed it, and
Yeah.
like we
Yeah.
yeah. So
Yeah.
I'm stoked for
Miguel
that.
said it, not me. Just kidding. Just kidding.
Yeah, Danny, dude. I mean, before we started recording, you were showing us a little about your setup. Like you talked about trading a little bit. What else are
Yeah.
you interested in outside of economics? You obviously had a really interesting past.
Yeah.
You've lived in multiple states. You've done door-to-door sales, which is super. I mean, like not a lot of people have done that. Honestly,
Very
like
admirable.
Not
not
a
a
lot
lot
of
of people
people
have really
last.
hard. Hmm?
Yeah. I was gonna say not a lot of people last in that.
Right.
Yeah.
Indoor. Yeah.
Right. And then
It's
so
rough.
what do you like outside of Kendama, what do you put your focus on? Like what do you value outside of
Yeah,
Kendama and the things your actions and all the things you do? Like what are you spending time on?
definitely, dude. So day trading, you said, I've been doing that for like 19 months, and
Mm,
that's become something where I feel like I have the most like spark outside of kendama, like the most excitement for and like spark in my life. Like I don't know, just the possibility and like the opportunity that it creates for you just gets me like so excited and so stoked that I genuinely feel like it's something I'll do for the rest of my life.
yeah.
Like it's something where it just aligns so well with what I want to do in my life, like travel, I don't know, be my own boss. Like
Yeah.
you can
Yeah.
just do you. Like no one tells you when to make a trade or how to do it. Like it's completely on you.
Mhm.
And so I really feel like that's super cool. And not that I'm like against working for a company or like
Right.
getting a normal job, but I don't know. I feel like that's just something that I really value in life. Like our time is so short. I want to be able to do the things that I love. And so I feel like that's a really good outlet um, for me to do that. And on top of that, I just want to keep doing things that I love, like whether that's within kendama, like making my own kendamas, not like having my own company, but maybe like designing them or creating like
Pro model.
just, yeah, pro model would go crazy.
Yeah.
Um, but also just like other on top of that, like inventing, I don't know, like not necessarily like a paint, but like just like things that I think are cool. I don't know, like it's
Yeah.
hard
Yeah.
to kind of talk about something that you haven't done,
Hmm.
but it's exciting to think about like what there's potential for, like I could meet one person who has, a great mindset in that area and then it just takes off. Like,
Yep.
yeah.
All it takes. Yeah.
Yeah,
And
no, straight up.
you mentioned you're into surfing too, right? You've been doing it for a while, or?
Yeah. Yeah, I've been surfing for like 5 years, but I learned how to longboard when I was like 8.
Mhm.
But I never got like a lot of time in the water until I moved here because we had that vacation house, like the condo. So I learned how to longboard, but never like actual surfing, like in a month, you just can't learn how to surf.
Right.
So when I moved to out here, I bought a shortboard for the first time. And that's when I was like, dude, I gotta just teach myself how to surf or else I'll never learn. And so
Mhm.
I just got out there and then my cousin moved here. And he grew up in like California and Carlsbad for like half the year growing up each year. And so he rips, like he's good at surfing. And we would go out like 5 times a week, sometimes like twice a day. And that's when I like got a lot better at surfing. But I don't know, it's super gnarly, like surfing, especially out here, you're around some of the best surfers in the entire world. And
Right.
so it's really gnarly surf and there's usually a lot of people. So I'm pretty picky, which isn't like the right attitude to have when you surf, but like I'm really blessed because I live near some of the best waves ever. So I usually just go out like earlier in the morning or like, I don't know, sunsets. It's pretty fun sometimes, but I just go out when it looks like not too crowded and the waves look good.
Hmm.
So
Hmm.
yeah, I'm not surfing like twice a day like I was for a minute, but I would say, yeah, usually a few times a week, usually at least 3.
Nice. Nice.
Yeah.
Yeah, surfing. So you've done it for 5 years, and then yeah, wow, it seems like a pretty. I don't know. It seems like something that takes a long time to get the hang of, to be honest.
Yeah, it takes years, bro.
Yeah. You've been doing it for a while.
Like, I don't know. I feel like people, they think that you can like learn how to surf behind a boat or like
Mm,
learn how to, I don't know, like surf from snowboarding. Like, yeah, it helps so you can get good board control or whatever. But in
mm,
order to like read waves and like have good, I don't know, just be comfortable in the water, it takes
mm.
like a lot, like countless hours, just like kendama. Like
Yeah.
you don't get into the flow state of kendama when you first start playing. Like it's the same thing with surfing. You just have to put in a lot of effort and then it becomes like second nature. Like you just kind of know what to do rather than like
Right.
guessing, you know?
Yeah.
Right. And
Yeah.
so going back to kendama, I want to ask you before we get off here. One of the
Mhm.
last things I want to ask is, you came to Seattle past weekend, and you actually came in and just got so many new setups. I don't know what you were doing, trading, buying. I didn't expect people to do that, to be honest. To come and be like, who's got the new setups?
He's got the
We're
new
definitely in
young
there.
Coop was providing, bro. Oh
Cooper,
yeah.
yeah,
Coop had
yeah,
all the fresh setups. I had to snag his.
yeah. So I know you're sponsored by Occult, and I know you agreed. You guys had a mutual agreement where, yeah, you still want to be playing a lot of different kanamas. You just got back in. You
Yeah.
want to try a lot of things. You're still supporting them, but yeah, you're playing a lot of different stuff. So
Yeah.
what is, I guess your top three, top whatever, top two, top three shapes,
Yeah.
top kanamas you've found that you've enjoyed lately?
Yeah, outside of a
Yeah.
yeah.
Outside of Occult, yeah. So I mean, right now I genuinely only have like four setups that I'm playing. Like to be real, I don't have a lot of damas. Yeah, I gave a lot of them away. Like I've given like four friends damas, and
Hmm.
then I think I gave away like three at the weekend or something.
Yeah.
Um, but I'm not saying like you should go away and just give all your damas. But yeah, I have a few freshies coming in the mail. I got a package from Occult and then some Thomas from Soul.
Nice.
But I've been really liking this setup, the one from Coop. Wait, let me try and flip the camera so it's a little bit better.
Oh
Let's
yeah,
see.
that was the yeah, that's
Yeah, so this one is fire. I actually don't love this Ken, but I really love this Tama. This is like one of my favorite Tamas I've had. It's just like the hand painted one, the
yeah.
ISR Tama. So I don't know. I really love like the layered tracking, and then
Hmm.
also this paint's just cracked. I'd say the only thing that would be better about this is probably like a crushed bevel or something, like a better bevel.
Hmm.
Um, but I really love the vibes paint. Like this one is so good. You guys played this one, I think, but
Yeah, we
Yeah,
did.
like
that's a special
yeah,
matte paint. Yeah.
this is the good like broken in one. But that one is really good. I'm hyped because I have two more vibes coming in. And then this has been the other one that I really liked as well. The quad, or no, this is a question. The answer. Yeah.
Which
Got
is
this one from, yeah, it's the answer from question, but they're not allowed to make another shape because it's the best name. But I really like this shape, but I genuinely feel like it's a shittier element, if I'm gonna be truthful.
hmm.
That's kind of what I would say that is, not to hate on question.
Yeah.
But
No hate, bro. Yeah, no.
I feel like
No
element,
hate at all, bro. Yeah, it's
I feel
all
like
good.
if I could make a setup right now, I'd probably choose the element shape. Just because when Johnny plays it and I saw you guys test it, I was like, all right, yeah, that's probably the best. But I
Okay,
would
yeah,
put
it's really good. It's super good. Yeah.
yeah, I'd probably get that with like a Sulap Tama. I don't know, like a super good one, or I really like
Or
the
the
good
rhino.
vibe batch,
Oh, okay.
or I like the Shibui Tama a lot too. I'm kind of sad Cooper stole that from me. I mean, he didn't steal it, but he was like, please, please.
You guys are doing deals all weekend, dude.
Yeah,
You guys are doing
seriously.
deals all weekend.
Yeah, he hit
That
me up with a good offer too, so I was like, all right.
yeah. That
But
matte paint, the vibe you have is such like is this I said
yeah,
special because like usually they're just like slick as an ice rink, but that one's
yeah.
like insanely broken in and like
No, that one's like cush. It's like silky
it's
cush. I
like
don't know how to
almost cushion
explain it.
clear. Like actually, yeah.
Yeah.
So
No, I'm gonna hit some bangers on that. I promise.
yeah. Dude, before we get into Instagram questions, I wanna ask you, this was kind of something that was almost covered in our podcast that we did last week, or yeah, with the the group Seattle podcast. We did the event,
Mhm.
but You know, Danny, you're someone who is super, super positive. Obviously, everybody was feeling your energy last weekend. You know, you really added to that event so much because of just the energy you brought and the positivity you brought forth. And you know,
So
Leo
sick.
asked you, Leo knows, he's like, yeah, you obviously like, you know, I mean, well, I noticed this too. It's like not everybody is like that, you know, obviously. And you know, it kind of takes an experience maybe sometimes for people to really get into that mindset to really know how valuable it is to stay positive, to you know, stay have that same belief that that the good things are coming, and obviously which you do. So, and usually people have to go through an experience. So, I wanted to ask you if you're willing to open up if anything particular happened in
Yeah,
your life, any experience that you had, because I think that would help a lot of people listening, who might be struggling or might be struggling to to look better, have a more positive outlook on the future, and the things that
yeah.
are.
Dude, first off, that means so much, dude. Like those words are a lot. I mean a lot to me, bro. So thank you. Um, but I feel like it wouldn't be fair to just like say that I've gained like my experience or my mindset from like one thing that's happened to me.
Right.
I feel like it's just all of, you know, that's who you are is like from everything that's kind of happened to you.
Mhm.
Um, but I think a lot of things that really shaped me were one, just the place I grew up in, you know. It's really like religious founded and like, you know, every most of the people are like the same religion there, at least when I was growing up and like in my neighborhood, kind of like that. Um, so I think just seeing like that place for like, I don't know, like maturing and looking back at like what it was actually like living there. I feel like it taught me a lot. Um, not to just like hate on Southern Utah, but kind of a lot. It taught me a lot of like what I don't want to be
Mhm.
in like myself. And I feel like that's a lot of times what things are really teaching, like why you have to go through hard things.
Yeah.
Uh, so I think just that, like, and it's hard there because everyone's really close. Like everyone knows each other, and like everyone's kind of like in the same circle, especially if you know are on the same sports team or like have the same hobbies, kind of. And so I don't know, just definitely younger. Like I have always had my family and like good people around me, but like it's just pretty toxic.
Mhm.
Um, like just the environment, I would say. And I don't know, just like the comparing, like
Mhm.
everyone's always trying to be better and like it's a really competitive, like minded community, I would say. Like everyone wants to have like the nicest car or like the nicest house. And if you don't, it's almost like you're not as good, which is like super sad to like see. And also just really tiring way to live. And so I think moving away from that, I really like matured and learned a lot that like that's not how most people live and not like the way I want to live. And so I think that was a big kind of founder of who I am. And then also doing sales, you know, is really hard. Like I'd
Mhm.
say 98% of people you talk to like genuinely don't like you and don't want to talk to you and don't want to be your friend. And so like even if you're super happy, like and that's how you have to go into each interaction like fresh, like they're your best friend or like you know like it's a new interaction. Like if you bring in the past people who have been mean to you, like they're gonna even be ruder to you, you know.
Yeah.
So I feel like when I did sales, I saw so many miserable people, like so many people who genuinely like because it's weird when you do door-to-door sales, you see people like in their home. Like you see them for like where they're comfortable, right? Like where
Mhm.
they do everything. And so it's kind of just eye-opening to see like how people can be so negative and so like hateful in their own home. Like I don't
Yeah.
know, like when they're in their most comfortable place. And so I really feel like that just opened my eyes to kind of that same thing from Utah, just like of who I want to be and like the way that what they said to me made me feel like I don't want to ever do that or like make someone feel that way. And so I think yeah, just going through hard things and like Leo said, and I think Michael said too one night, he was like, I can tell you've like gone through a lot of things in life just because like the way you are and like how mature, not, I don't know if he said mature, but he just said like how like wise or something funny. But because after the sales job, I went and worked with two friends too in Cholo, Arizona, and that's when I was doing like detailing, and we were working on getting our real estate licensing, and we were all doing day trading together and just like hustling, like just three kids with, that vision of we don't want to work an average job. We don't want to be like everyone else. So we were doing super good. Like we started a business. We got like over 150 clients in the town we were in. So we had like we were doing jobs usually every day, if not two or three. And so we were working super hard, but I don't know, things kind of fell out with them too, like over stupid things. Like just we never got into serious arguments, but I think just spending like that much time with the same people, like it can get, like walking on eggshells, like just tense. And so I don't know, like I think just after falling out with them and like kind of just putting myself first, like I don't know, I didn't feel like those friends were ever like using me or like no, I don't. They were like my best friends, and so it'd be like super rude of me to talk bad about them. They were definitely like good people, but I do feel like if I wasn't like the person I was, then it wouldn't be like the way it is, if that makes any sense at all. Like if I didn't have things to offer, like our relationship wouldn't be what it is.
I see what
And
you
so I don't know. We kind of just had a falling out once I started to like play more kendama, and they got more into like these rodeoing things, and like I don't know, we just kind of we started to just go through it, man. Like just not, it wasn't the same, it wasn't fun anymore. And I don't know, man, like it just changed me, bro. Like when you go through that many trials in life, like I genuinely feel like it just helps, it not just like softens you, but it just kind of helps you understand like everyone's going through things. Because even for someone like me who's been like so blessed and has had such a good like childhood and just had really supportive parents throughout my whole life, it's like I still have gone through these super hard things, and so just imagine what someone who's not even like half as fortunate is going through. It's like, so it never hurts to be a good person and to be kind to people, because at the end of the day, that's like all that matters. It's like making others feel good.
Gives you a
It's
wider
like you're not
perspective.
gonna remember much else. Yeah.
Yeah, like you're saying, I mean, yeah, it gives you a wider, like even someone like you who's blessed, but all like, and we're all blessed, but someone like you, and
Yeah.
you just acknowledge that, like obviously there's people who have it, you just said like half as fortunate, all this stuff, and it gives you a wider perspective when you like get to understand this and a new level of understanding, which you clearly have, based on your
Mhm.
experiences.
Mhm.
So thanks for sharing that with us, dude.
Yeah.
Yeah, I really
Dude,
appreciate
yeah, thanks for asking. I try to answer, everything truthfully too. Like I just want to be me, man. Like that's it.
it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think everybody likes that about you, man. I
Yeah.
know everyone I mean, you could hear it in the G pod that we took last week. Everybody mentioned your name when they came around. They're like, so glad we met Danny, So
Yeah,
yeah,
dude.
I
And
think it's
that's
rubbing off
like
in a good
so
way.
big, bro. Already changed me, bro. I'm already a different person than I was, a week ago before the intensive camp, bro. And like I'm just super grateful for the direction we're all heading, bro. Like I know that like if we just keep working and like keep putting efforts into the things that we love to do, like it's gonna work out for us no matter what.
Yeah,
And I believe
absolutely.
that for sure.
We're a team. We're a team,
Yeah.
guys.
No, death. We're brothers, bro. That's how it is.
How it is.
How it is, baby. Let's
Uh,
yeah, let's get into a couple. We have a couple Instagram questions. We did cover some,
yeah.
but yeah, let's just
Bet.
get right into it. So Miguel said,
Uh-huh.
Danny's been blowing up in the community as in the past couple months. He's absolutely blown up ever since you got on Instagram.
Yeah.
How does that like make you feel? How does that make you feel like you're getting a lot of traction super fast?
Yeah. Dude, it's awesome. Like it feels super good to, I don't know, like to have other people validate like you, like
Mhm.
obviously that feels good to
Yeah.
to have people see you and like be seen.
Mhm.
But I think it's done mostly good for me. Like I'm happy that people are seeing my tricks, and I'm happy that like my play style is affecting people. Like I feel like that's super cool. But I also do feel like there's some just like unwanted pressure to like be better, you know, and
Right.
like to just like land harder tricks and like, you know, impress people, which is never the right like attitude to have or mindset. And so I'm trying to just push past that and keep playing like because I love it and not because like other people want to see me do cool tricks. Even though like at times it's hard. And something that also really stuck with me that George said over the weekend, he was like, while you're doing your trick, like you want to have, he was talking about like stress, like having less stressors. And one thing was
Yeah.
like the battery, and one thing was like, you know, making sure you're not filming too late.
Yeah.
But the one that stuck with me was when he said, don't like be filming and thinking of like an Instagram caption. Like, and
Yeah.
that's something I catch myself doing. I'm like, why do I want to like tell people what I'm thinking before I've even landed something cool? It's like you gotta really focus, because then I'll like really focus on doing like the trick I'm thinking of and actually like get close or do it. And I'm like, okay, why am I not like locking in this hard the whole time?
Yeah.
And I don't know. I feel like just remembering why I play kendama is like what I want to come from that question, I guess. Like, I don't know, just not really caring as much, you know, and just playing for fun because I love it.
Mhm. Yeah. Mhm.
Yeah.
Awesome. Nice. Awesome. Yeah. Yeah, that makes sense, dude. I mean, yeah, of course, I mean, Nick and I have both gone through our fair share of the pressure, right? I mean,
Yeah.
you get a lot of attention. It's like, all right, well, now I have to prove, like, now I have to like keep proving myself, or I have to keep like
Mhm.
I have to reach these people are saying this much stuff to it. Like, I don't know, am I really this? Like, I have to prove every single time. I mean,
Yeah.
Nick has even more experience with that than me. I mean, Nick went through that a lot when he was, legitimately the best player in the world in 2018, and for a couple of years
Yeah.
after that as well. But I remember
Awesome.
Nick's mindset. He would come. It was funny. I mean, obviously this isn't you, but I mean, just to like when he would post a 28 tricks later trick in 2018, he would land like the hardest trick of, like ever, and be like, "Can't
Yeah.
wait till this challenge is over. I hate like this today sucked."
Can't
It
wait
was
till
like,
the challenge is over.
and I would like look at my phone. I'm like, man, like I'd be on belief
Anger.
if I landed that. Like,
Yeah. Yeah. I'm gonna delete my Instagram now.
yeah, like I was like, man, like I grinded today, and it was literally about a fourth as good as this, but it all right. Like,
All right.
but yeah, I mean, people go through that, dude, and it's like it's a journey, and it's so easy to say like, don't focus on that, obviously, because like you just said it, you're like, yeah, obviously it's not the best thing to focus on, but it's way easier said than done. It takes a lot of
Oh yeah.
experience, and I think going through it in whatever way is good, and as long as you're intentional with your thinking, you kind of are aware. I mean, the only way to really come out of it and grow is like through experiencing it, I think so. uh
Yeah.
yeah, dude.
Definitely.
hmm Cooper Yorinaga says, do you think personality influences people's play style? I thought that was an interesting question.
Yeah. So like you're like, as is Coop asking that from himself, like my personality or like,
I think just in general, like maybe not directly referring to you, but like just in general, do you think people's personalities influence their style?
yeah, definitely. I mean, just look at Yasu. Like I feel like he's the easiest example. Like Brody hits quad tap juggle handle stall and then hits a break dance after. Like
Yeah.
the hell. Like that's just like you can't not watch that and like smile or just be like how is he dancing after that, you know? And so I feel like obviously you don't have to dance to show personality, but like just being who you are and like I don't know. I feel like everyone has their own personality, right? So I feel like just being true to yourself and like playing kendama for the right reasons, like because you want to and because it's something you're like passionate about, is automatically going to like affect people. Just
hmm
because like, you know, you saw how many people came up to us just over ski, like, what is that? Like,
Yeah.
that looks so cool. Like all the older moms or like the grannies,
Yeah.
like they're like they just see us having fun and they see us, you know, all together like doing something different. So I feel like they see that and think it's cool.
Yeah. Yeah, dude. Yeah, it's a good, interesting to think about that question. I think for sure. I mean, for me personally, I don't know. Well, Nick, what do you think? What do you think about that question? Like,
Yeah, it definitely has to influence people's play styles.
yeah. Like we're all reflecting like a piece of like us when we're playing kendama, of course. So
Yeah, and I'll kind of go deeper in that too. Is like when
yeah,
I'm playing for myself, like when I'm hitting like a lot of instas or when I'm like super honed, like when probably the best, there's like a few hours over the weekend or like when I play Kendama for long periods of time where I'm like just so locked in. Like I genuinely feel like I can land like 30-second minute freestyles. And that's when I feel like I'm expressing myself because I don't know, like each time you spike it or like do another trick added on it, like it's hard to explain, but you don't become one with the Ken, like that's kind of crazy. But like in a way, like you kind of just zen. Like zen is a great Kanama word. Like you just
yeah.
start flowing with it and like all the reps that you've put in before, like just kind of load in. Like you're like, oh, I remember how to triplet or I know how to do this certain juggle and then have perfect Tama control or whatever it is, but it's just like that's you expressing all the work you've put in. So I definitely think there's personality in it. Yeah.
Heck yeah. Heck yeah, dude. Yeah, definitely. That's awesome. Yeah. Do you watch Yasu a lot? Like, do you watch a lot of Yasu?
Dude, I'll be real. The only things I've ever seen of Yasu is his EKC one. Is that the one where he does face paint?
No,
Where
it's
he
Catch and
won?
Flow.
Okay, yeah, he won Catch and Fly. I watched that. And I've seen his other one at EKC where he didn't miss until like the last 5 seconds. And that's like it of his.
He just posted a 2-minute freestyle today. So
He like didn't miss
Yeah.
for well, he missed in between, but he just like played it off and then he freestyled for like 2.5 minutes straight. It was nuts.
Dude, I need to start doing that. Like,
yeah,
honestly, like recently I've been going for more like set tricks and sometimes like I'll just be jamming and I'll hit like a long freestyle. I'm like, I should have been filming.
Yeah.
Like, like I wasn't even like trying to hone in right there. It's just like fun.
dude. Sometimes I swear, dude. Sometimes, and this might be the case for most people if they, unless they literally are some of the players who literally just film on, and like, when they play Konami, they film like they always have the camera on. Dude, I swear, like some of the best lines are almost always going to be hit off cam, like straight
Off
up.
cam.
Yeah,
Yeah.
all the
I
time.
feel like there's like this is just something I've experienced. I feel like there's an like that unwanted pressure when you're filming that your like
Yeah.
subconscious knows that it's like if I land something, people will see it. And I genuinely feel like that affects me like
For
when I'm
sure.
playing. And I wish I could tap into I know I that it's possible because like I've hit bangers on camera before, but like there's so many times where I feel like just more comfortable playing, like when I'm just seshing without a camera. And
Yeah.
like I feel like it's so possible to tap into a point where you're like, it doesn't matter if there's a film or if there's something watching me. It's like you're just confident. I'm trying to get there still.
I think
Yeah.
I think it has a lot to do with expectations. Like the flow state, like this flow state that we're talking about. Sometimes you hit it during the economic set, sometimes you don't.
Yeah.
But it's like, I mean, for me personally, and you can definitely relate to this, like what are like the best lines I've ever done? I'm like, oh, I was just going with like no end goal in mind, nothing. Like I didn't think
Yeah.
good, no pressure. Exactly the
You're
first
just
you said it
playing.
perfectly. Like you were like, yeah, I didn't even think I was gonna land something there, but you just
Yeah.
keep hitting stuff, dude.
Yeah.
You
Yeah.
just keep hitting it, and I think it's a lot to do with like no expectations.
Yeah, no, 100% no expectations. Because every time I'm doing like a freestyle line, I'm not thinking. Like
Mhm.
I'm not really planning. And if I am, it's like just the next trick. It's not
Yep.
like I'll catch it and then like whatever motion feels comfortable next, you just start going into. It's not like you force playing. Like I don't know. There's just a difference between when you have like, oh, three tap jug in insta trip J insta three tap. Like it's different when you catch it weird and then like have to it's just there's so many factors with Kanama. So that's why I feel like when you're able to get into that flow state, it's so cool because you're like saving everything, like, you just keep going.
Oh, yeah,
Well said.
yeah.
It's the best.
Simple as
It's
that.
insane. I want to do it right now. Like I was sessioning before this and I was like, I need to just be like honed before talking about Kanama because then it'll be like I could actually relate to stuff,
Yeah.
like I know
So
what
you
I'm
can
talking
zen in.
about.
You can zen
Yeah,
in.
yeah. You
Yeah.
can become one with the Dama.
Yeah, man. Hell yeah, man. Well, thank you so much for taking the time to talk to us today. I know
Dude,
you You
It's
said
an
you were
honor.
going to live stream after this. So
Yeah, should I just go right now? I'm a hot pause.
Go do it, yeah.
Oh man.
Like I'll literally live right now.
All right,
Go
yeah.
live.
All right, dude. Well,
Yeah.
yo, thanks again for really next
Dude,
time.
I love you boys. I can't wait to see you guys and sesh with you guys, dude. You
See you
guys
in
are
Japan.
inspirational.
See you in
You're
Japan, dude.
inspirational. Not to me, not just to me, but to so many people, bro. So keep going. Keep ripping it, dude. You guys are awesome human beings.
Thank you, Dan.
Freaking love
Appreciate
you
you.
guys, bro.
Appreciate it.
Yeah, thanks for having me on here, dude. I'm stoked.
Yeah. Hell yeah.
Thank you, dude.
Later.
Future's bright, boys. Love you
Future
guys.
is bright.
Future's bright.
Cheers.